Hello, everyone. If you have seen the last video that Eric and I did, and the topic was on Iran and news updates, I have struggled all week with the idea of coming on here and doing a segment to explain that video to you. And after debating whether I should do it or not, I decided I wouldn't bother because most people will connect the dots. However, I've had quite a few people reach out to me and tell me how difficult it was for them to understand everything we said because of the sound. And I decided I owed it to you all, with the question at least, to come on and explain what happened with that video. Some of it was visible because you can't argue with the evidence. I have been a television producer for a long time. I debuted my first show on the 19th of February, 2011. You do the math. I have traveled to different parts of the world and interviewed amazing people, including the co-founder of Apple. It's all out there. I have never had what happened with the last two segments Eric and I have done happen, which is why I thought, out of respect for you all, not to defend my work, because I don't get paid to do what I do, and I don't feel like I need to explain myself to people for the quality if it's not up to their standard. I do the best I can. I was taught the basics of editing, and then I've taught myself to do everything else that I do. And I'm sort of a perfectionist, and in everything that I do in my life, it's not at a dangerous level, but everything I do, I try to do to the best of my ability, which is the second reason I am here talking to you about that video. For some reason, the last two segments Eric and I have done, we had a lot of interference. Some I don't even mention because it wouldn't really make sense to a lot of you. However, you saw the video get disconnected 2 or 3 times, and you heard the audio. I did nothing different than I do every time, and yet that was the quality of the sound. I could have fixed it in edit, but why would I? I want you to see what we are saying. We are not making stuff up. We are not, you may choose to call us conspiracy theorists, and that is your prerogative. But I can promise you, we are both very credible people, and we are sick and tired of being lied to, which is why we do the homework before we start speaking to you, because we don't want to be like those who are paid to tell you a story that's on a script. We try to tell you the news as we know it to be true, which involves a lot of research. And that's what I do. I spend a lot of time doing this, not because I want fame, but because I love humanity and what I have learned about what we were told and the lives we have lived and the lives those before us have lived. I decided that I should do the research and find the truth so that I could share it with you. I think it's kind of funny that my alarm is going off in the middle of this interview. Maybe it's a sign to you all. There's an alarm bell ringing for you to wake up, because what I know, I can't tell you all of it. I try to tell you as much as I can, hoping to plant enough seeds that you can go and do your own research. Here's something else you don't know. I have been producing segments on Zoom since COVID, because during that time our television station, where I normally produce my shows, was on lockdown like everything else. And when I relocated to New York, I don't have access physically to the station anymore, although I do stream some of my work back to the station. I realized that I can do my shows on Zoom, and although it's not the same quality because it's one camera versus 3 or 4, the point is to get the information out there. So I continue to do it. However, that video in question that's brought me on tonight vanished. Yep. At the end of the interview or the segment, when I normally save the video and then take it into my editing software where I edit it, before I put it out there, it vanished. And I am not making this up. I'm pretty skilled when it comes to using Zoom, because, like I said, since COVID, when Zoom started, I interviewed doctors around the world during COVID, close to 100 of them. And I try to get as many countries. I think I got quite a lot. It's on my YouTube channel. So you don't think I'm just sitting here tooting my horn. And so I have never lost a video like that before. If it's not saved to my desktop, it's on the cloud. But this video vanished. I had to call Zoom and get someone there, and I don't know where they found it. So it took me 2 days after we actually did the interview to find the video, to edit it, to put it out there. And I didn't realize how awful the sound was until I put it out. And so I'm here tonight to say to you, we've been saying stuff. A lot of people think people like us are conspiracy theorists because we are telling you things some of you've never heard. It's difficult to believe. And so normally the Band-Aid that's slapped on information that is not relatable is conspiracy. You can decide what label you want to give it, because I love humanity, and because I care for those of us like myself who is asleep, who is still asleep because I'm wide awake now. I have this passion burning inside of me to wake everyone up. There's no gain here for me, except I know some not very good stuff is coming. And if you are asleep, well, I don't know what's going to happen to you. And I don't want, let me think carefully how I present this. I want everybody to be informed so they can make informed decisions. And because I know you cannot depend on the mainstream media to tell you the truth, I am trying to come on, and in my mind, if 2 or 3 people understand what I'm saying, it's worth my time, it's worth my effort, and it's worth putting myself in danger. Both Eric and I are being watched. There are things that have happened to both of us. And I know that I'm being watched. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but I know. And if I wasn't, if we weren't, then when we do these segments, we wouldn't have the interference. In addition to what you've seen and heard, and the video disappearing, when I was editing, my software kept freezing. It was very painful. So even if I wanted to correct the sound, I don't know I would have been successful because I didn't have the freedom to edit this video the way I do others. And so I'm coming on here tonight to clarify for you those who have questions regarding the sound and the quality of the last video, so you can see for yourself that those were not things I had control of. And every time I produce a segment where we are trying to help mankind wake up to what we know, I have these same issues. I've had to get someone to actually help me to get the computer to work to finish the edit. And I have a new computer and it's designed specifically, or not designed. I purchased it specifically for my television production or my television segments or my Zoom segments. I don't use it for anything else. I have other computers that I use for my other stuff. This computer is dedicated to this. And so please forgive me that I put it out anyway. I felt like I should, because if I didn't, whoever was trying to stop me would then be justified in what they were trying to do. And then they would think they could stop me at other things that I'm doing that's in the best interest of humanity. I do not fear anyone or anything. And I don't care what people think or say about me. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I've had opinions about people and things, so I have to expect people to have opinions about me, and that's okay. I think that we have been bullied, lied, used, abused. We and our children, we work I wake up every day and go to work. And when I'm at home, I work. I work on my show. And so I see people working way harder than me. They're out there in the snow shoveling. And I feel my heart breaks for them because these same people can hardly afford to feed their children. And here is a thought-provoking question that haunts me. And I would hope that it haunts you too. Since I was about 5 years old and I was starting to become aware, I was asking questions that my mother couldn't answer. When I was a very young girl, I found myself in Guyana, where I grew up, with some local politicians in a room arguing with them. In fact, one of them told me that I would grow up to run the country. And that's not on my agenda. I don't care about things like that. What I care about is each person on this planet living a comfortable life and having a chance at life. Some people are just born without, because the system is set up this way. We slave for people who are abusing, lying to us, using us, and honestly, some of them refer to us as their slaves. I found this in my research. And so I would like to see that stopped. And I know I can't stop it. But I know that if enough people wake up, it can be stopped. And so here's the question I ask a lot of you. There's so many things where the dots don't connect. How come we don't question them? There's a whole list I could go down right now, but that's not what this is about. And so I'm not going to keep this much longer. But I just want you to know I am not here trying to whip anybody or to talk anyone into believing what you choose not to believe, or not to believe me because I'm a nobody that you know of from nowhere. and some girl who just shows up on probably a video that comes across your feed and you click on it, you're like, who are you? What the hell are you talking about? Because my narrative goes very contrary and different to the mainstream narrative. So clearly, I'd be viewed as some crazy conspiracy theorist for some people. So that's okay. But maybe, just maybe, you should start looking at some of what we are saying. And everyone calls it the proverbial rabbit hole. You could call it whatever name you want. Find a place where the truth is. You have to go looking for it because it's not meant for us to find. And that's why you have to go looking for it. And that's why we refer to it as the rabbit hole. And so, thank you for watching this. I hope it explains what happened in the last video. And we will be back this weekend. Nobody is going to stop us because there is a handful of you, or there are a few people I'm sure of, who are paying attention to what we are saying and they're connecting the dots. So thank you for watching Conversations with Jennylyn. When a conversation is all you need to be inspired and informed, hopefully. And I will be back soon to bring you another news update with Eric. Thank you.